potjiekos, dit is allemaal moos. Hoendertjie of broeivlees, zelfs een snoek is kos.
Hello, how's it? My name is Ben Kruger. Welcome to my kitchen, and this is potjiekos. And today I have a very, very special guest. Izelle Hoffman is a lifestyle chef, which means that she has a very different philosophy about food to me. Izelle, welcome to my kitchen.
Thank you so much, Ben, and thank you for having me. What are we making today?
Today we're making a venison tomati breedi. That's a South African dish. So
Yes.
It's a stew with tomato and stuff. The venison I've got is springbok. I can use impala, blesbok, any kind of venison will do. I don't think you should use warthog,
Yes.
because that's very close
Is
to
there-
pork.
So is that your specific reason for that?
Yeah, because you can do a lot of other things with pork. You don't have to chuck tomatoes into it.
And is there a specific reason you actually chose this specific meat for us today?
Yeah, it's what I could find in the butcher.
Oh, so it's that time of the year then.
Yep, it's that time of the year. We'll be out of hunting
Okay.
season.
So one
Okay.
thing about a potjie is actually the fact that it's nice to make something with what is available. So it's nice to know that this is the available meat that's on the shelf at the moment, and obviously our ingredients, which I'm very excited, for you to share with our viewers.
Okay. Let's start with oil. Now, you can use any oil.
Okay.
I use normal sunflower oil because it's cheap. It does the job. That's all you have to do. Right, and that's half a cup of oil.
Half a cup.
Then I've got a large chopped onion. You don't have
Okay.
to slice it finely. It's roughly chopped.
Okay.
That goes in.
Can I make use of any onion, or is that a specific onion you chose? So for me, I absolutely love red salad onions. Reason being, first of all, it's beautiful, a nice, vibrant, purpley color, but it's also slightly sweeter than this everyday common onion, if we can call it like that. So yeah, whatever we're going to be using to combine the different flavors, then of course the red onion will give a slightly different flavor, won't you say?
It will. And I'm a fan of red onions as well, but I sometimes find it very difficult to find them.
Yes, obviously also based on availability.
Now we're going in with the meat.
Ben, should we not be switching on our stove?
Yes, we will.
Not
We will
yet.
now. We will now. The reason why I kept it off is because it makes a noise.
Okay, okay.
So in goes the meat.
So for viewers at home, you can actually already switch on your stove by now.
Yes, you can start with a heated pot.
Okay.
But because we're making movies and we've got sound issues, I will now switch the stove on.
Okay.
And then as things start warming up, we can start adding the rest of the ingredients.
Okay, fantastic. And
Right.
temperature-wise, do you think a high heat, quick sizzle, or just...
I always tell my viewers that to check the heat of a pot, especially when you're cooking outside, where you
Yes.
don't have all that much control.
Of course.
You've got to wait
with
for
the
it.
fire.
It's got to bubble in a certain way. It can't go. Then it's too hot.
Yes.
And if it goes,
So how can you
There's-
taste that? So obviously
you
you're going to put
lift
the
the
oil
lid.
in.
You lift
Yes.
the lid and you look and it goes.
The oil, that's of course, hey.
Then you know you've got the
Okay.
right thing.
See, I'm sure someone out there that's watching
It's very
also
scientific.
would have asked the same
Yeah,
question.
very scientific. You don't. I don't have thermometers and stuff. I just go and listen to them.
Okay. So it starts talking like a woman very fast and inconsistent. It's too hot. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, and how long now?
Now we just wait for a little while for everything to get hot and for the onions to start softening up.
Okay.
And then I'm going to brown the meat before we add the rest of the ingredients.
Okay.
So as you can see, everything is now starting to bubble along very nicely.
This woman is talking.
Yeah, and it's time.
And it's actually starting to smell amazing.
It does smell
You
nice.
can have smell sort of the slight smell of scent of venison, which I think is quite exciting, quite appealing to the palate.
Right. Now the first thing I'm going to add is normal commercial biltong spice.
Okay.
And it's just a dessert spoonful.
Maybe for viewers out there, biltong spice, can you sort of maybe explain to us what the combination of these ingredients would be?
It's all dry ingredients. It's pepper, it's salt,
Yeah.
it's cumin, it's coriander, and one or two other things. The recipes differ, but you can get them on the internet.
Often brown sugar as well?
I don't think there's brown sugar in this
In
one.
this specific one, yes.
But when I make my own, I always put brown sugar.
Yes,
So,
fantastic.
there we go,
Smells
one
amazing.
dessert spoonful. And now, we're going to add some canned Italian tomatoes.
Okay.
I know you're not a fan of canned tomatoes, but hey, life's too short to peel your own. Sorry.
And this canned tomato is absolutely going everywhere.
Sorry.
So Ben, is this a whole can of tomatoes?
That's one whole can of tomatoes.
So
Yeah.
say for instance, I did not have canned tomatoes at home, which I don't, by the way. Would you say this is sort of 2 medium tomatoes, diced up?
Yeah, 2 and a half. You blanch it, peel it, slice it.
Okay.
Put it in the
And
pot.
you just add it to the pot.
Right. Now the next thing we're going to add is a bit of rosemary.
Oh wow.
Which I've
Rosemary
taken.
is one of my favorite
Yeah, I know.
herbs. Smells amazing.
Oh, wonderful, yeah. So this goes in now.
Yes.
I've cut the little leaves, just so that they release their aroma much quicker.
Okay. And would you say that's about 1 tablespoon as well?
1 tablespoon, yeah.
Fantastic.
And then we go in
This is
with our,
getting so exciting.
your favourite herb, parsley.
Yes, I absolutely love parsley, the common one or everyday one or even the Italian leaf one. The reason for that is parsley is a natural anti-inflammatory. And that's one of the reasons I love making use of that.
So you're telling me that this stuff is good for my rugby knee?
It actually is, Ben. I just wished you actually started using it sooner in your career.
That's why I invited her along, you see. She knows a lot of stuff.
Oh, this pot is starting to look absolutely gorgeous. So you've got your vibrant red and all your herbs, your sizzling onion, and then of course our meat. So what is next?
Now we go in with tomato puree. It's one of those little cans full.
Okay. So what my eyes are telling me is we're using different textures and combinations of tomato.
Yeah.
Because I mean we are making a tomato really after all. Is there a reason why we're using or making use of different textures? Or is it just because you prefer it like that?
I like the different textures. The tomato puree tends to thicken up and it forms a gravy, so you don't have to add anything to it. Yeah.
So tomato paste can actually use as a natural thickener.
There you go.
Figure that.
And then this I'm putting in just because I love it. It's a
Okay.
South African product. It's
Yes.
all gold tomato sauce. It is
Okay.
the jewel in their crown. They make a lot of stuff, but this is the jewel in their crown. Not to be confused with ketchup. This is tomato sauce. Each bottle contains 26 tomatoes. Trust me on this
You
one.
have to lift and whittle when you say
No, I
that.
can't.
You can't.
No.
Neither can I. That's why I thought I'll ask you to do that. So then should we be giving this pot a stir?
Yeah, now we give it a bit of a stir
Okay.
before we add the last ingredient. And the last ingredient you're just going to love.
Okay, let's see if my nose can tell me what it is. Sure, babe. Maybe this is smelling a little bit stout, won't you say?
Well, there's a big clue on the side of the mug.
Oh, darn it. I actually gave it away. You should have told me this beforehand.
Old brown sherry.
There you go. This is
Chuck it in.
like half a cup.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Got married and lived happily ever after. That's what
There
this
we
pot
go.
is telling me.
And now I'm going to turn the heat down by
Ooh,
about a
I'm smelling that
third.
sherry. I am smelling that sherry.
I'm going to turn the heat down by about a third.
Okay.
And then,
So just for viewers out there that was actually not, looking inside the pot all the time, by the time you started adding all the meat, or the sauce to the meat was beautifully brown, and the onion was actually cooked already. Okay, and from there, it's literally just add all the ingredients, so you find this beautiful dish, and now I'm
And
going to
then-
put on the lid.
you stick the lid on. Now, Izelle, you can add diced potatoes, carrots, sweet potatoes, anything else, but I really prefer my tomato gravies to be just very simple, without too much other stuff. I'm going to make a little salad now, while this thing carries on. You can have a sip of water. I'm going to pour myself a
I was
glass.
actually just checking my watch now, so how long would we have to wait before we get to taste this?
From this point on, we're probably going to wait half an hour
Okay.
to 35 minutes,
Okay.
and it should be done.
And that is actually the perfect time to either make a side dish or salad, like you said, or for
Exactly.
me to have a couple of glasses of water, not just one sip. But rule of thumb for me is if you're going to be serving any potjie or biryani with a lot of other side dishes, that's where I don't add all the extra other vegetables. So you were saying, the option is there to be adding all the extra vegetables. But if you want this to be the main dish and you get to serve it with that whole variety, it's actually perfect, just the way it is.
Exactly. So, you take a sip of water. I'm going to take a glass of wine.
Old brown sherry.
No, we don't drink old brown sherry in the middle of the day. We
No
drink
one
it
knows
late
it's
at
the
night
middle
when
of
the
the
wine
day.
is finished.
No one knows it's the middle of the day, Ben. You're just going to time away.
So I'm going to have a glass of wine, make the salad. When this thing's done, Izelle and I are going to taste.
Can't wait.
See you later. So, Izelle, the proof is in the eating.
I was going to say this is not quite pudding, Ben, but
That
even
always
though
came out as the
I
proof is
need,
missing.
I need to compliment you. This looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So, because I'm a lifestyle chef, is that why, you know, with the salad component, I don't see any extra carbs on my plate, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm really impressed in my salad. I see some almonds and cranberries and even a few pumpkin seeds.
You know, I always describe myself as a ballerina caught in the body of a rugby forward. I'm a very sensitive guy. I can make salad.
Right.
I can make salad
Right.
with cranberries.
Something really interesting, you know that pumpkin seeds is actually for vegetarians out there that's not necessarily going to eat, unfortunately, your springbok potjie today, but there's quite a lot of protein in pumpkin seeds. So for the vegetarian option, that now they would have dished up more of this and slightly less of your potjie. But if you had to ask me what would I pair this with, absolutely, most definitely with some sweet potato, roast sweet potato, baked potato, and if you want to be a little bit more fancy, you want to sit around the dining room table, you know, maybe spend some time with the family, I think this can even be served with rice. But, let's give this a taste,
Let's
shall
give it a
we?
whirl.
I'm so excited. Did the chef taste first? And he's not dead yet, guys, so I'm going to go in for it. Ooh, I can really taste the rosemary. Really glad we cooked with rosemary, fresh rosemary that is. And the meat's nice and soft.
Yeah.
So, say for instance someone has like, you know, pushed a little bit with time. Obviously the tenderness of the meat will have to do a lot with how long you cook it for, is that correct?
With the potjie, it's always better to go low and slow.
Yeah, low and slow, I like that.
So it's a low heat and a long time to cook.
Yes.
But there are various other ways of making sure your meat is tender and so on and so forth. Don't put in too much salt and what have you. And your meat will always come up nice.
And for people that like something with a bit of a bite, do you think you can add a bit of cayenne pepper maybe to this to zhuzh it up, or some
Cayenne
peppers?
pepper, Tabasco sauce,
Chili.
maybe even chilies,
Chilies.
pepper juice.
Well, you know what, Ben? I am really impressed with what we served you today, but I actually think I can do this better. Better for the sense of in a healthier way. So I've got some viewers out there that is, you know, people that's going to say, Izelle, we see you challenge Ben, but I can actually say today, proudly challenging you to make this same dish, not exactly the same, just so much more healthier.
You're going to make a springbok tomato gravy
Yes.
healthier than mine.
Of course, yes. There's lots of room for improvement. However, I need to say, I'm going to really have to know my stuff to top this taste, because it tastes absolutely amazing. So are you up for the challenge, Ben?
You're right.
Challenge accepted. Till next time.
Till next time.
Potjiekos, dit eet allemaal mos. Hoendertjie of rooi vlees, zelfs een snoek.